Hello, peeps. This is the Hillbilly halfwit with you today, doing a sit-down one. How are you all? Today we're going to talk about Keir Starmer and the massive spending on the asylum system the last year, and also with the previous government. Let's get going. Firstly, I've got to say this. The content in this video is intended for comedic purposes only. The views expressed in this video are not to be taken as factual information or a representation of my personal beliefs. I am critically reviewing the info and videos I show as examples. But all this info I'm showing you is from true sources. Now, this is me, really, isn't it? Has my mouth got me into trouble? Yep. Has it hissed people off? Yep. Am I going to stop speaking my mind? Not a ducking chance. Let's get the proper info out there and stop these people telling lies, eh? Now, Kira Jong-un is looking at me. He says, I'm watching you, Hillbilly. Think before you post. Well, duck right off. Before we go any further, because we're talking about a lot of billions here, I just want to make sure everybody knows what a billion is. 1 billion is equal to 1,000 million. So think of that. 1,000 million is a billion. When people say billion, I don't think it goes into people's head properly. A billion is equal to 1,000 million. So this is what the UK is getting on council tax. 38.5 billion. That is the amount that the UK borrows every 101 days. It's also the amount raised in the last year by council tax. Now, this is what I knew because I've been talking about this in a few of my videos. The climate spending all around the UK is 35 billion on the climate fund. But we're only getting 38.5 billion in taxes. That's a bit weird, isn't it, eh? That is a bit weird. Anybody think they're making all this stuff up, eh? Analysts from the TPA, its Taxpayers Alliance, Eggheads, this week revealed that the money being raised by councils each year has been rocketed from 12.2 billion in 2000 to 2001 to 38.5 billion in 2023, a whopping 214% increase. I've been telling people this has been going up. Nobody believes me. In the last 10 years alone, receipts have increased by over 61%, with 7.5% increase in 2021-22, the largest in almost 20 years. Taxpayers Alliance Weekly Bulletin. Now let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this, eh? The taxi service. Let's see how much this taxi service is costing us all. Yeah, the taxi service. £15 million per day. All this when our elderly pensioners are worrying themselves sick how they'll keep warm this winter. It's an absolute disgrace. So taking the winter fuel allowance off the elderly has cost the country, was costing the country 110 million, and they're spending 5.4 billion. Yes, 5.4 billion. So that's 5,400 million on illegal immigration. So look above there, 110 million to keep all our elderly warm in the winter. They've taken that off, but we're spending 5,400 million to keep to look after illegal asylum seekers. The total amount spent on hotels and support for asylum seekers ballooned to 5.4 billion. 5,400 million in 2023 to 24. A huge overspend on the Home Office's 1,000 million budget for asylum support, resettlement and accommodation. Labour analysis of Treasury figures suggest. This took total spending on hotels and support to 15 million a day, far more than the 8 million a day estimated in September. So where I live, they're closing a hospital because our area has got a 20 million shortfall in Powys, and they're spending 15 million a day looking after illegal immigrants. Can you take that in, eh? This has been built in Cardiff. That's where a school used to be. It's not the only one. I've got another picture of a guy where he went to another place and he flew over it with a drone. It's bigger than this. It's basically a real posh housing estate, costing an absolute fortune. They're craning them things in one piece. And it's huge, absolutely huge. We are being taken over, people. We're being taken over, we're being colonized. I found this funny the other week. How strange. All the fish in the English Channel belong to the EU. All the humans found in the English Channel belong to the UK. How does that work, eh? How does that work? Now, this is what happened as soon as Labour got into power. 5th of July, 2024. There we are. We all know what's going on. So this is Elon Musk. How is this even real, he says. Breaking. UK government prepares to deploy asylum seekers across the country. Immigrants will be given priority over Britons when it comes to finding housing. Let me read that again. Immigrants will be given priority over Britons when it comes to finding housing. And let's have a look again how much that costs. There we go, look. 5.4 billion. So £5,400 million is being spent on this lot. By that lot. So let's see how many have been coming in for the last couple of years. So this is 2022. These are just the illegals, remember, coming across on the boats. There's hundreds of thousands coming in legally. So let's just look at the illegal ones here. Now, in 2022, 21,344 crossed the channel. 500 crossed the channel on just one Saturday. So every single one of them people is costing us taxpayers £45,000 each. £45,000 each. Let's go to 2023. So 2022 was 21,000. 2023 it went down slightly, 17,620. 1.3 million came into the UK last year. That's including the legal and illegal ones. And that is over a third of the population of Wales in 1 year. So last year we had over a third of the population of Wales come into the UK. And it's costing all us taxpayers £45,000 for each one. And how much did I say? Was it 8 billion? 5.4 billion. So there we are. I don't think it's doing us any good, is it? How can it be doing us any good when it's costing us 5.4 billion? Now, this is this year under the Labour Party. It's gone back up again there to 19,000. So that's so far, that is. This is scary stuff, people. Now, this was how the BBC and other organisations skew all the stuff that's happening with these attacks. Bias BBC crops image of a man arrested in France for firebombing a synagogue to remove Palestinian flag. So on the left, where I've written BBC image, is what they showed. So this guy with the thing on his head. French police arrest synagogue blast suspect. On the right is the original image where he's wearing a Palestinian flag around him, carrying petrol bombs. So what do you think of that, people? Do you think that's proper journalism? Or do you think there's an agenda here? The same happened in Germany last week, where I've got to be careful what I say here. A similar person stabbed a load of people, and there was a manhunt, and they were afraid to mention what color he was or where he was from. So they actually they had a manhunt for people. They couldn't say what he looked like. So they were even saying that he was a white German at one time, even though they knew he wasn't. Anyway, when they got him, they had to admit what he was, and he was an actual ISIS person. This is how mad this is all getting. Now, this is in Wales. Avoid meetings in racist buildings, Liberians told. This is now in 2024 in Wales. Staff will be instructed in critical whiteness studies and dealing with the dominant paradigm of whiteness. I have to look at this and I'm thinking, what on earth? We have lost our schools. We have got people absolutely full on communists teaching our kids. I was reading a piece before. I haven't put it on here because it was only on my phone. But it said that they're going to start teaching anti-whiteness classes to the teachers, and then the kids will be taught the same. And they were teaching them, how did it go now? Collective responsibility, trying to push collective responsibility onto everybody and dealing with the dominant paradigm of whiteness. So collective responsibility to me is communism. That's what they're trying to teach. So it's very worrying. Now, this is in Germany again. Asylum seekers in Germany risk deportation for secretly holidaying in their home country. Afghan asylum seekers in Germany are going on secret holidays back to the war-torn countries despite claiming they fled persecution. So they got a passport and they're going home. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Absolute crazy thing. And plus, I've got to go back to this. This Elon Musk tweet here, they're saying is fake news. It isn't fake news because Keir Starmer actually said immigrants will be given priority over Britons when it comes to finding housing a month ago, because I did a video about it. Do you remember? The Labour government said that. That is what was said. That is not fake news. So that's the video for today, peeps. Thank you very much for subscribing. I've had a few new subscribers this last week. Genuinely nice to see all your comments and stuff. We can't agree on everything, like I say, but we agree on most things. So that'll be all for today. Please share this stuff out there if you got this far. It really helps the channel, and all the best, guys.